Hey guys, so let's talk about last night's episode of The Vampire Diaries, which was actually kind of freaking awesome. TVD definitely bought its A game last night, and it felt like this was the first episode of this season that was like, just reminded me of like old TVD, like season 1 and season 2 when like all kinds of crazy things were happening and you never knew what was coming next. Last night's episode was like vintage TVD, and I hope that it is here to stay. So one of the big shockers for me last night was when it was revealed that Nadia is actually Catherine's daughter. What? Like, I was not expecting that, you guys. We all remember those flashback episodes about Catherine when we realized that she had this child that was taken away from her. Turns out that's Nadia. And they got me, you guys. I was definitely surprised. We start the episode with Nadia telling Catherine, like, you killed my mother back in 1433 or whatever. But eventually Catherine figures out that she's lying, and we're not exactly sure why. And then, of course, we get the big reveal. So Catherine is someone's mother, which is a little crazy, and I'm not quite sure where that storyline is gonna go, but wowza, what a twist. Also last night, we had Damon and Jeremy kind of joining forces to try to figure out how to bring Bonnie back. They know that in Silas's plan, he's gonna have to die, and so basically they want to use his death as the balance. So if they bring Bonnie back and Silas dies, then everything will be okay. Now, of course, Silas is not just gonna go along with this out of the goodness of his heart, because there is no goodness in his heart. So he basically tells Damon, I'll do it if you kill your brother. Now, of course, he doesn't mean kill him for good. He just means I want you to snap his neck. Because when Stefan is dead, it severs the link between he and Silas. So Silas gets his powers back temporarily while Stefan is out. So a lot of this episode was poor Stefan just kind of laying in a chair, and every time he would wake up, Damon would snap that neck. I seriously, you guys, part of me wants to go back and watch every episode of TVD again because I love it, and also to count the number of times people have gotten their neck snapped. So there's the big party, and basically Ketsia is at the party, Stefan's getting his neck snapped, and Silas is pretending to be Stefan because he wants to use his powers on Ketsia to figure out what her plan is. Eventually, she figures out that it's him, and that does not end well for him. She like stops his blood from flowing to his heart or something because she's an angry woman. Let's talk about Tyler, even though I really don't want to. So he was really in this episode to say goodbye. Caroline was all excited that he was there. There was lots of scenes of them rolling around in bed together. Eventually, he finally comes clean and tells her that he can't stay. And we get that he's kind of obsessed with getting revenge on Klaus. Of course, Klaus killed his mother. Tyler also doesn't like the fact that the only reason that he and Caroline are together is because Klaus has allowed it. And I kind of felt bad for Caroline, especially at the end when he's gonna leave and she says something to him like, I want you to love me more than you hate him. But we get that Tyler can't do that, and so he leaves. So bye, Tyler. It's been real. Don't come back anytime soon. Sorry. There's also this guy that shows up. His name is Aaron. It turns out that he was friends with Elena and Caroline's roommate, the one that got killed by a vampire. And he's also somehow connected to Dr. Maxfield as well. So that's a mystery that I'm sure we'll be solving. We also see Dr. Maxfield pretty much tell Elena to pack up and go home, which of course is probably not gonna happen. The kicker at the end, you guys, let's talk about that, right? Because we get that Damon has made this deal with Silas to bring Bonnie back. He wants to bring Bonnie back for Elena, not because he cares about Bonnie. Let's be real with each other. He knows that part of that plan is feeding Catherine to Silas, and so he tricks Catherine into coming to the house, believing that Silas is dead, and so she shows up and is all excited. And then Damon basically feeds her to Silas. It was like the exact mirror of what Catherine did to Jeremy. And I don't know why, but for a millisecond, I kind of felt bad for her until I remembered what she did to Jeremy, and then I was like, oh, that's what you get. That is what you get for being evil. So I'm thinking in my head, oh my gosh, Catherine is dead. Like, they're gonna kill off Catherine right now, and I'm super shocked. Now we get, during the episode, that Silas has to drink all of her blood to be cured. So we see him drinking her blood, and we see that it's having an effect on him. We see him getting better. We see the color returning to his skin, and then she drops to the floor and we think she's dead, but then she wakes up. So I guess the real question is, what did taking the cure do to Catherine? Because she's obviously not a vampire anymore, but she's obviously not just human. Yeah, you guys, like I said earlier, this was a fantastic episode. Way to go, TVD. I really hope that the season continues in this vein. If so, I mean, season 5 is gonna be freaking awesome. Make sure you guys tell me what you thought about this week's episode, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.